Okay, so good morning, everyone. This is Sandeep Bose, motivation speaker, communication trainer. Once again, welcome back to my channel, Facebook channel, and those of you who are watching it from the YouTube channel, Sandeep Bose Motivation Speaker channel. I welcome you all on behalf of all these two channels. So thank you guys for watching this, supporting us, and be our subscriber for a long time. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated it. And keep coming your comments and your love. It's really an incredible journey. This passion podcast, which I started 3 months back. I was diagnosed with COVID, so I was thinking that I need to do something. Like I was in sitting idle and doing nothing. I was not feeling well, so that idea pop up in my mind, and I think that let's start something in this pandemic time, which it might inspire people, might help them in their daily life, daily struggle. Somehow, I don't know how much I'm able to support or help other people, but it helped me. It helped me a lot, and I learned so many things during this phase. And I met with some great personalities over the time through my passion podcast, and I will meet with some more personalities, in the upcoming future. So they really helped me a lot to change my perception, to become a better person, to become a better worker, individual, what to say. And I was very much, I was very much into dilemma when I finished the last episode with Mrs. Rosni Bhattacharya, because that was the 13th episode I have conducted. And it was giving me some, punch, like unlucky 13 and all. So I was trying day and night to invite some guests, but somehow, nobody was able to join because of their schedule or something like that. Things didn't work out. But finally, I got to manage a guest for my 14th episode. And I met with this gentleman through LinkedIn. And later I came to know that he's also from Kolkata. He's half Bengali. He will talk about his journey. He is Utsav Rufus. Utsav is from Kolkata, but most of his work he has done in the northern part of the country. Then he moved to Bangalore. Currently, he's in Bangalore. He's working from there. He is a CELTA certified from Cambridge University. He's completed his degrees there, and he was working with British Council. He was working with Wipro. I think Utsav has joined us, so let's welcome Utsav. I will not wait further. So here we go. Utsav is there with us. Hi Utsav, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. How are you?
Yes, all good, brother. So as I was just telling my viewers that how we met and how I invited you for this event, and I was telling them that your credentials, like you were born and brought up in Kolkata, then you have worked with different states like in Noida, Delhi. Now you have working in Bengaluru, and you have completed your CELTA certification from Cambridge, University of Cambridge, and you have worked with organizations like British Council for more than three and a half years, if I'm not wrong. And
Yes.
Wipro, companies like Wipro, currently with Concentrix. So,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. So, Utsav, it's a long journey for you, right? I also started my career with Wipro way back in 2013. But I think, if I'm not wrong, you started before that, right? So
Yes.
let our viewers tell that how was the experience and why you went for that interview in Wipro. I mean, is it a deliberate decision or is it like everybody was going for a IT sector job in a sector 5? You went to there for that same reason. What was going into your mind, and how's the reaction of your parents when they come to know about your uh, job in Wipro? How's the reaction? If you can tell our viewers.
So, so, so in those days, I finished my graduation in 2005, and then I was looking for a source of income. And so it so happened that I heard a lot about Wipro, and this, and it's a multinational company, and it's a very good company. So I got a call from one of the recruiters in Calcutta that there's an interview, a vacancy in Wipro. So would you like to apply? So I went to this consultancy, appeared for the interview, and then got through. And so the journey in Wipro was amazing. Before I actually started working for Wipro, I knew nothing about computers. So I just knew this is called the monitor, this is the mouse, and the other component is the CPU. But then in Wipro, I joined HP Desktop as an associate, and I used to troubleshoot for HP Desktop process for US and Canadian customers. So that's when I learned a lot about computers. They would show us, they would open the CPUs of different computers and show us this is the motherboard, this is the RAM slot. Before that, I'd never seen RAM slots in my life. So, and after the training, it was a wonderful training, and it made me a pro in troubleshooting. So that's when I started troubleshooting and helping customers abroad. So it was an eye opener, a wonderful journey for me.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
how long you have worked in Wipro
So Wipro
as
was
a
a short
customer?
stint.
Yeah.
So I worked there for 1 year as an associate, and then I quit because I wanted to do my MBA. And but
Mhm.
then what happened was that in 2018 I was called back in Wipro as a trainer, as a communications trainer. So I happened to visit those rooms where I sat once upon a time as a trainee, and then I became a trainer, and it was as if walking down the memory lane for me. So it was
Mhm.
again, what to say, life experiences are so unique and intriguing sometimes. So this interests me a lot, intrigues me a lot.
Right. So how's the journey? Like you have seen a transition from like a transformation. Maybe you're a employee, like a customer support executive, like I was, and then you became the trainer of the same organization. And as you said, it was a feeling of nostalgia, right? So when you went to that room, and I mean, you have become the trainer.
Mhm.
How was your experience working under that management? Did you see any change in their behavior, or when you were working as an employee? What was the difference between the management and the working culture, and if you can tell our viewers?
I never started my career thinking that I would become a trainer once upon a time, and then I never thought about it. It was all unplanned for me, and things kept on happening in my life. I never planned anything. So it so happened that even when I was called for Wipro as a communications trainer, it all happened through a third party vendor, and I never imagined, I never applied anywhere. So anyway, so it always helps when you have been a trainee in the same organization, so you know how things are run in that organization, what are the challenges the trainees face when they are taking training, or someone who's very new to MNCs. So you know their psyche, and when you become a trainer, you try to do as much as possible to ease them into that training period, so that there's a very smooth transition from training, and then they go hit the floor and into production. So you try to make their life easy, because I've gone through it. I know the challenges. People are scared. There would be assessments almost every day, and after the end of every training. So I've gone through it. I know everything about the life in a big MNC. It sounds MNC, but there are a lot of challenges. Cracking the interview is just the first step, but you have to survive there. So I try to make the my trainees' life as comfortable as possible. I would make my sessions cheerful, interesting. We would do a lot of games and activities. So I would try to take the burden off my trainees as much as possible.
So you were a process trainer over there, or you was working as a initial
No,
voice
I
accent
was a
trainer, like the first
communications
few
trainer.
people?
Yeah. So I was a communications trainer that included voice and accent, grammar, soft skills, everything.
Right. And how did you have to? I believe that if you're working for a MNC company, there would be rotational shift. Like those of you who are watching, I believe most of the students are watching, young people are watching. They must be wondering. They asked me this question that, sir, if we're working for an MNC, do we have to work in rotational shifts? So I tell them, yes, you have to work in rotational shifts. That is fine with them. But when it comes to night shift, doing night shift, I've seen many people they back out, like they say that we are having health issues and I cannot do it. I've seen fit guys, like they're very fit physically, they are very fit mentally, they are very fit, but when it comes to doing night shifts, they back out. So I believe you also have to go through, and I also have to go through. Like, what do you want to tell them? Like, if anybody want to build their career on a MNC like this, maybe as a trainer, and they have this night shift and things like that, how one should approach or how one should cope with this thing?
It's all in the mind. You see, the body, as you treat your body, it gets used to it. If you treat your body with a lot of comfort, with soft beds every night, that's how it gets used to it. So when you suddenly ask your body to sleep on the cold floor, it will find it difficult. It would revolt. It would cause you innumerable number of problems. But then it's how you adapt. So it's I wouldn't tell you that I've always been an owl in my life, but then when I was asked to work night shifts, I did, and it's all about adapting. So if an organization you're working for, and they tell you beforehand that it's going to be a night shift, for me it was the shift used to change. So some days it would be at 1 in the morning, some days it would be in the afternoon the next day. So it's all about adjusting, and so that's how you also get to know how mentally tough you are, how much you can put in. So a lot of people leave or they quit because of this continuous night shifts. But those people who stay back, they are really mentally very tough. They are a tough nut to crack. So even I've worked in different shifts. It's tough. It's not easy to work in night shifts, but then you have to challenge yourself. And life is all about experiences. It's nothing is wasted in life. Even if you work night shifts and you feel that your life is hell, but it's not. It's actually an experience which you will find useful in the later stages of your life. If you happen to read or listen to Steve Jobs joining the dots. So that's what he said. We never understand joining. We cannot join the dots looking forward. We can always join the dots looking backwards. So that's true for everyone. That happened to me as well. And it's an experience working night shifts when people are sleeping, you are still working. So that's the workforce of a BPO industry. It's very hard work, actually. People think, oh, it's a BPO industry. But then those people who don't give a damn about BPO jobs, you ask them to work for 1 month, they'll give up. Working 2 days, they'll give up. So yeah, it's
Right,
tough.
right. Yeah, correctly said. So you have, since you have worked with Wipro as a accent voice accent trainers. I also over there, so I know the phase and the process.
Mhm.
And Utsav, that really helped me to become a better speaker, because initial days of my life,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
I belong from a regional medium school, and I was a very poor student in when it comes to English, especially in grammar. So I was very afraid of this grammar English. I was a very shy person. I could not look look into the eyes of the girls. I was like that. I used to study like this in my coaching center. So I was a
So
very
now
shy
you're
kid.
married.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like when I joined Wipro, all those shyness that went away, and the training that I
Exactly.
got, 1.5 months of training, that actually helped me to become a better speaker. Even after the training, I was struggling to understand what the customers are saying, because as you know, the I was
The
working for BT.
accent.
So
Yeah.
they were saying in different accents, like Irish, Scottish,
Hmm.
Wales, and English accent, different accents. So it was difficult for me to understand for at least for 1 week. So it took me
Okay.
1 week to understand what they're saying, and I was doing trial and error. Like I'm
Hmm.
hearing words and I'm like putting into the system. Like that's how I troubleshoot it. So Utsav, suppose people are watching this podcast right now, they might want to join companies like Wipro, TCS, and big MNCs.
Hmm.
So what advice you want to give to people who want to improve their communication? How they should improve their communication, and what parameters are required to join such MNC and to survive for a
So,
long period of time.
so you have to be what I tell my trainees and students is that grammar is important, but grammar is not everything. So in order to be fluent in a language, grammar is obviously the backbone of any language. You need to know the grammar of that particular language. So when it comes to English, yes, what is a noun, what is an adverb, what is a pronoun is important, but that is not the only thing to know. And I've had a lot of trainees and students who would be very good in grammar, but when it comes to fluency, they won't be able to speak one single sentence without getting stuck. So the idea is to practice speaking as often as you can in that language. When it comes to English, so speak as much as possible in English. It could be with your friends, with your partners, or if you have your younger brothers and sisters at home, siblings, so speak to them in English. So you should get into the habit of thinking in English. What most people do is that they form the sentence in their native languages and then they try to translate it to English. So they get stuck. That is not the right way to learn a language. So you should start thinking in English. Before going to bed, you can stand in front of the mirror and you can tell yourself whatever you did throughout the day, how you felt like, and what were the challenges that you faced. So you should also get into the habit of watching more Hollywood movies. Prasenjit movies are no good nowadays. So you should start watching Hollywood movies, web series, English web series. There are really funny ones. For example, Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother. So it's enjoyable, as well as you can use subtitles. So these and one other thing is that I have hardly found people who read nowadays. The habit of reading is almost it's gone. Youngsters are now creating videos on TikTok and whatnot, but then the habit of reading, the good old habit of reading, is getting diminished. So I tell people to read as much as possible. It's a very good habit. Reading improves your vocabulary. So but nowadays hardly anyone reads. Libraries are always empty and vacant. I would only see 2 3 people in a library uh, reading newspapers. But then reading used to be such a good hobby, and I got this hobby from my parents. Even my wife is a voracious reader. So I love reading. Wherever, even if I travel, I at least carry 1 or 2 books with me to read in the journey, while in the journey or while traveling. So reading has been one of those things which I cannot even think of without. I cannot think life without books or bookshelves. So a room without books is as if a body without a soul. So that's what I truly believe. So yeah, these are some of the techniques and tips on how someone can improve the fluency. And so you don't have to sit for the assessments, and you don't have to be a master in English grammar. It's just fluency and communication. So in order to improve your fluency, you need to practice speaking more in English. That's it.
Right, right. And what is the recent book which you have read or you like it very much, which will recommend to the audience?
So I've read almost a lot of books actually. I like reading H.G. Wells books, then Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, R.K. Narayan, Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda. So and all the English classics, Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, Robin Hood, Black Beauty, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, War of the Worlds, Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. So you name it, I've read it. But I really liked Swami and Friends by R.K. Narayan. I could relate to my childhood, uh, and then the English teacher written by R.K. Narayan. So these two books, I'm really fond of reading these two books. I'm also fond of reading Enid Blyton, Famous Five. All the adventures of Famous Five. They're really amazing. It takes me back to my own childhood. Yeah.
I think some of your students are watching and they are commenting. If you can see on the screen, the comments are coming.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you,
right, right.
Sunil.
Thank you, Sunil, for being part of the show. So, Rufus, you was talking
Yeah.
about your connection and how one should do. Rufus, I would like to go back to your childhood days because that's what it's all about. That's what builds us as a
Hmm.
individual. Our parents, the education that they give us, the way they show us how to live the life, that's actually shapes us our life, right? So if
Exactly.
I go back to your childhood, like, do you always wanted to, you're interested in this language, or how did you develop this love for this language? And especially if I talk about teaching, how did you derive this love?
I never thought about teaching of becoming a teacher or a trainer. I never thought about it. My passion was becoming a footballer because I was really good in football. I was really good in sports. I used to bring medals in every sports day in school, and so I was really interested in sports. I was a black belt at a very young age. When I was in class six, I'd already got the black belt, and the examination, the assessment was taken by the grandmaster who came down all the way from Malaysia to India.
Right.
So I was the only kid who appeared for that level, and it was way back in 1995 or 96. I became a black belt, and it was an achievement for me. Very few people at that young age could become a black belt. So I was really interested into sports. My childhood, if I have to talk about my childhood, I was very naughty. People would be fed up. I was raised by my uncles, my mamas, till I was to my nani, dida, and mamas. So my uncles were you could replace an idol of God and you can ask them to stand there at the same place. So they were so good. They were godly to me. So I grew up with my cousins, and we were always naughty. Always things happened, and something or the other would be broken. We used to play cricket and whatnot. While playing hockey, I broke the front teeth of one of my cousins, and so we got a lot of scoldings. But then that was how my childhood was. I really enjoyed. So I used to go to school not to study but to play, and I was not a very good student. I could just somehow pass or clear my examinations. I was not a good student, okay. But when it came to sports, I was really good at it. I never thought of becoming a teacher or a trainer. It was my brother who was actually very good in studies. But see, destiny has got different plans for us. He went into sports, and I became a teacher and a trainer. So I understand when I teach some naughty trainees or students in my class, I understand their psyche, and I'm never irritated by them, because once upon a time I used to think like that. I could see myself in them. So even if a student is really weak and is trying very hard to focus, but then is lagging behind, I could really relate to that student, and I really try hard to help those students, because good students are always good. If it's not me, if you teach, if anyone else teaches, they're going to bring 90% every time. but it's really the weak students in the class who need special attention. And so in our schools and colleges, even teachers would be, oh, is a lost case. So what's the use of focusing in such students? But I have a different philosophy. So I would like to devote more time to those weaker students to because I can empathize with them, and I relate to them, and I can really work hard with them, and they can show a lot of improvement. Every children or every individual is special. So there was a research. It was conducted in 1960s. Okay, and a scientist from a very renowned college went into a school. Okay, so he
Okay.
told the teachers that he would divide the students into very good students and not so good students. So there were two groups.
Okay.
So when
Yes.
then he asked, he divided the teachers, and then
Hmm.
an assessment was taken after a month. So
Right.
the result, when the results came out, it was found that the very good students had
Mhm.
outscored the rest of the students. So the teacher said, of course, they are very good students. They had to bring 90%, 100%, and the other group had only 80%. Divulged the information to do with high level IQ, because the students in the very good batch or the team with very good students were randomly chosen. It's just the psyche of the teachers. The teachers were told that this plot had all the excellent students, but it wasn't the case. So you see that when the psyche of a teacher changes, he or she can change the results of the students. Even the weak students can outperform the very good students. It all depends on the motivation and the enthusiasm with which the teacher teaches the students. It has got a lot to do with the way a teacher teaches and handles the students.
Right, right. So here we go. We have some more comments, I believe, from your students who are watching the show. Nitish Pathak has written that he has only few months of training with you. So he find you very disciplined and hardworking, and he had learned a lot of things and also motivation from. Thank you, Nitish, for being part of the
Thank you
show.
so much, Nitish.
Yeah, appreciate it. So, Utsav, now I'd like to bring an aspect which is very close, I believe, which is very close to your heart, and I also very much intrigued the way that organization functions, and the process and the system and the culture. It's British Council, right? So, Utsav, can you please, could you please tell our viewers that I think if there's very few people who don't know about what is British Council, right? They must have heard about British Council, but
Mhm.
after that, the entire thing is like a shadow. They don't know how to go, where to go, what to do. It's all shadow. So can you tell
So,
our viewers that what is British Council does and how it functions? And if somebody wants to take a training from British Council, do they need to have some kind of qualification? Do they need to pass some kind of examination? How they enter, or what is British Council and how it functions? Because you have seen it very closely. You are a trainer over there
yeah,
for almost 3 4 years. You have
3 years.
taken
Yeah.
first you are an hourly paid teacher, right? And then you
Yeah.
became the corporate trainer, right? So
No,
if you can
first
tell
I
our viewers.
was the corporate trainer, and then there was a vacancy for an hourly paid teacher in Delhi head office,
Right.
British Council head office. So you see, British Council is actually a part of the British High Commission in India, and they run different language courses, English courses, starting from IELTS to simple spoken English courses for different students. So there are courses for children, adults, and to get enrolled into as a student in British Council, you don't need to have any special qualification, because that's meant for people who are weak in English, and so you can enroll, and as long as you pay their fees, they're happy. So, but when you want to join as a teacher or a trainer in British Council, you need to have CELTA. So that's the basic qualification, and you need to be very good in your own English skills, communication skills. So that's how you can get it through British Council. The interviews are a bit tough. There are different rounds of interviews, and at the last round would be a demo round where you would be called for a presentation or to teach a set of students. The observer would also be in the same class, and she would observe how you teach, your handling skills, your comm skills, your facilitation skills, and at the end she would share feedback with you. Now, British Council is one of those organizations which is very transparent. They hire based on merit, not depending on which family you come from or your what which school you have passed out of. No, so they just look whether you are CELTA qualified. That's the basic criteria of how one can apply for British Council jobs as a teacher and a trainer. And then, yeah, obviously, you will need to get through the interview rounds. They'll ask a lot of grammar questions, questions of why you want to become a teacher and a trainer. And once you cross all those rounds, the last round would be a demo round where you need to
Yeah, sorry to
teach a
interrupt.
set of
Utsav, I was
students
actually
in
asking from
front
the
of your interview.
yeah. So I was actually asking from the students' point of view how they get into British Council. Do they need to have any kind of qualification prior before coming into there? How they took the admission and what are the parameters required for if I want to become a student of British Council? Utsav, I would request you to turn off your video because we are having some technical glitch. So if you can turn off your video, I believe it will be better for you, both of us.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think
Utsav, please turn off the
yes,
video.
I lost you.
Yeah, please turn off the video. Please turn off your video, Utsav.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Utsav, I was asking you this question that from the student's point of view,
Yeah.
how one should enroll and what are the parameters required to get enrolled if I want to enroll as a student in British Council?
Uh, See, as a student, you just they'll take a simple interview just to gauge your language skills. So
Mhm.
they have different. They'll enroll you either based on your language skills. That is whether you are a beginner's level, intermediate, upper intermediate, or advanced. So it's based on your language skills, and they'll tell you which level you are and how much time you would need to improve. So. Courses in British Council they run for at least 3-4 months. It's based on the number of hours actually. So
Okay.
you can enroll for any number of hours based on your interest, your decision, your discretion, and then you
Hmm.
can see the improvement. But the teachers are all CELTA qualified in British Council, and CELTA is one of the it's the most scientific way of teaching a language to a non-native speaker. So all
Okay.
teachers in British Council are CELTA qualified. So you are in the hands of very capable teachers in British Council.
Right, right. So again, you were talking about CELTA. You yourself have completed this
Yes.
course, and I know
Yeah.
that how much costly this course is. Maybe it's like
Yeah.
1,50,000 or something. So,
Yes.
what are
Yes.
the parameters are there? If you can tell, what are the parameters they you assess you on CELTA? The areas that
Parameters. So you need to get through a few assessments before because the seats are limited for the CELTA course. So
okay.
you need to clear some assessments, and then if your teachers or your trainers feel that you deserve a seat, they'll
Hmm.
contact you and they'll offer a seat. And once you enroll for CELTA, it's a
Hmm.
very difficult course to clear. It's a rigorous 1 month course. Okay, so
Right.
that 1 month would be very exciting. It would be very tiring. You wouldn't get to do anything else apart from focusing on CELTA. There would be there would be homeworks, projects, tasks for you to do at home. So,
Okay.
but it would be an eye opener for you because before CELTA, I'd never been exposed to any such teaching techniques. In schools and colleges, I've always found that our teachers would come to the class and they would start lecturing on the topic. But CELTA is completely different. It's very interactive, and there are ways of how to teach a student who's not a non-native speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So all these are taught in CELTA,
Okay.
starting from facilitation skills and the techniques, also how to teach a grammar topic, how to focus on reading skills, how to focus on listening skills. So CELTA is the most scientific way of teaching someone a language, and it was an eye opener for me, and I loved the course, although it's really expensive. But then it's a wonderful journey that the trainees go through when you enroll for CELTA.
Right. Utsav, then after working for British Council, now you're settled in Bangalore and you're working for Concentrix. And
Concentrate. Yes.
right. So, how you see this journey or this phrase? Because you have worked with Wipro, you have worked with British Council, now Concentrix. All these companies are big companies, like MNC companies, and they have
Yes.
different protocols, different management, different system. So,
Mhm.
which is close to your heart, or maybe which one you like the most? The culture, the atmosphere, the learnings, if I say so.
So when I was in British Council, I loved it. When now that I'm in Concentrix, I'm loving the company. It's a great company actually. So when I joined
Mhm.
Concentrix, I had to go through the TTT course. That's the
Mhm.
short form for Train the Trainer, and
Right.
so it was based on the sounds module, the voice and accent, syllables, and then the soft skills, active listening. What is active listening, and what's the difference between sympathy and empathy, and then service no. So it was a new kind of an experience for me, and it was a wonderful course actually. You don't get the kind of materials that Concentrix uses for this T3 certification course. You
Okay.
wouldn't get it on the internet. It's a wonderful course, and you get to learn a lot of things about sounds and
Okay.
syllables.
Okay.
So that's again a learning. That was a learning phase for me. So once I cleared T3 certification in CNX, so I started working as a voice and accent trainer, and it has been a wonderful journey. I would be completing 2.5 years next month. So
Okay.
it has been a wonderful journey, and I'm really thankful to Concentrix for this T3 course. But British Council is an education industry. It provides spoken English and communication courses to the students. Now, Concentrix is a BPO industry. It's a BPO
Right.
company, and it's a
Right.
big BPO company. So when the trainees they join Concentrix, that's when I train them on sounds, how to get rid of their mother tongue influences, how to achieve a global pronunciation,
Mhm.
what syllable to stress, and we also brush up a bit on grammar and soft skills. And that's when they start. Once they start taking calls, I need to continuously audit their calls and share feedback with them in terms of communication. So the roles are a bit different when you compare CNX with British Council. But then I get to do what I love the most. I get to train and teach people, and this is what I would like to do even 50 years from now, 15 years from now.
Right.
I would still like to teach and train. So there have been interviews where I was asked this question: where do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years from now? I answer them that I would still love to see myself as a teacher and a trainer, because this is
Right.
what I love to do.
Right. Now, thank you so much, Utsav. Now,
You,
Utsav, which is the most important question I think I would like to ask you is, it is
yeah,
very important nowadays because we see the lives have become so stressful, because of the
yeah,
circumstances, situation, especially in COVID times. People at their home, their mental health is suffering a lot because of this issue. They're working from home,
yeah.
so again, it's an obstacle for them. So now, you are a trainer, I am a trainer, and there are so many trainers out there. So we know what it takes to become a trainer and how one should, focus on his training, and at the same time they should know how to turn off themselves on weekends or maybe holidays, because otherwise it gets very difficult. Like, and so what kind of activities do you do? I see you are a pet lover, you have this hobby of painting, you you are into this fitness regime as well. So what are the activities or hobbies you have developed over the years while training, or maybe with, or when you are free? What things you keep
Mhm.
yourself busy with?
So the first thing, I start my day with Vipassana meditation. So I was lucky that I got to learn Vipassana, and that changed the outlook of my life. The way I looked at life, it completely, totally changed. Vipassana is actually the meditation technique which was discovered. It wasn't invented; it was discovered by the Buddha
Okay.
2,500 years ago. And then he started teaching Vipassana meditation to the people in Gaya, because
Right.
that's where he got the enlightenment. And just after his death, people started mixing the technique with different other techniques. So the benefit which should have been there wasn't there. So people stopped following Vipassana. But then recently, say 50 years ago, there was a Guruji, Mr. S.N. Goenka. He was born and brought up in Myanmar, and he was the one to learn Vipassana from his guru. And then he came back to India and started teaching Vipassana to the people in India. So now Vipassana has got centers all over the world. And I happened to learn Vipassana. I happened to attend my first 10-day course in the year 2009, and it was really an eye opener for me. It completely changed me. I
Right.
don't. I cannot tell you that I've got rid of all my anger and jealousy and all the bad or negative qualities. I don't claim to claim any such thing, but then it helps to understand yourself, and the anger and the impurities in the mind, they're still subsiding
Mhm.
gradually. It's
Right.
not magic, but so that's how I start my day. I really try to wake up early. So I was practicing to wake up at 4:30. I could wake up 3 4 days, and then for the last 3 4 days, I'm sorry, last 3 4 days, I haven't been able to wake up at 4:30. So whenever I wake up, I sit for an hour of meditation, and then I go for jogging.
Mhm.
Now, this is one of my new hobbies, that is jogging. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube. I came across
Okay.
a marathon runner, Eliud Kipchoge. Now, he
Okay.
inspired me so much. He is the number one marathon runner in the world right now. Eliud Kipchoge
Right.
is from Kenya. He's a Kenyan
Okay.
runner, and
Okay.
he ran a marathon of, say, the marathon, full marathon is around, say, 44 kilometers. So he
Mhm.
ran a full marathon under 2 hours, which is almost next to impossible. But he achieved that feat in 2019. So before
Okay.
he ran, the scientists and the doctors said that the human body would be capable of achieving that feat in 2075, but he did it in 2019. And then in one of his interviews, he actually said that I have proved the doctors wrong. And he has a tagline which says, no human is limited, no human is limited. And that's really inspiring. And even I try to run as much as possible. I run for almost 1 hour. I come
Mhm.
back tired, and then I take a bath and I start with my day. And I work almost around 12 hours a day, and then I have my dinner at around 8:30, and then by 10:30, 11, I try to hit the bed. So that's how my normal day is. I really I I'm really busy with the day's work throughout the day. But yes, I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, except I do a bit of private tuitions, offer language courses to
Right.
privately to some of my trainees. So
Right.
apart from those, I try to rewind by reading a book or simply by sketching and painting. So there's no, you don't have to do the same things. You don't have to wake up at 4:30 and sit for meditation. But then you have to find out what actually helps you in
Rejuvenate.
relaxing.
Yeah.
Yes. So for me, it's meditation and reading a book. So for you, it could be watching a movie or just listening to music. So
Right. So
different
Utsav,
people would be,
yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
I would like to ask you that you was talking about this vipassana meditation. So,
Yeah.
how do you do or how do you practice? Is it like playing some kind of a music and then you went to
No,
this?
no, no.
Uh,
See, Vipassana is completely different from all other meditation techniques. So in
mhm.
Vipassana, it's a 10-day course actually, and the first 3.5 days, you would be just taught to sit in a relaxed position, and you are taught to just observe your breath, the incoming
Okay,
and the outgoing breath without controlling it. Now, on
okay,
the fourth day, you are taught Vipassana, which is observing the sensations in your body. And
okay,
this is the only technique which claims to eradicate all your sufferings, not just from this life, from all your past lives, even if you don't believe in past lives. So,
hmm,
even in this life, we have had enough sufferings already. So, this
hmm,
is the only technique which claims to eradicate all your sufferings. And this is not just a technique, it's a gem. So if
okay,
anyone who practices Vipassana is bound to get out of his sufferings. I have done Vipassana. I've practiced it. I'm still practicing it. I've found wonderful results. I don't claim to be a guru or I don't claim to be an ascetic. I don't claim that I've got rid of all my
hmm,
sufferings or my anger. But then I there is a huge difference between Utsav Rufus 10 years ago and Utsav Rufus now. There is a huge difference. I
right,
understand life. I understand. I try to be compassionate, which I wasn't earlier. And it has also
right,
helped me in my professional life as well.
right, right. So, Utsav, there is we are almost like 15 minutes
Yes.
remaining of the show, but it's so engaging the conversation that you are doing, and I can relate, and I believe the most of the audience who are watching this, they are also able to relate whatever you are saying. So, as we progress in our life, when you become we are children, there's no tension of life and nothing, right? But the moment we join to work and we have family, we have wife, like kids, and we have to
Hmm.
raise them, so it becomes difficult. So as you are saying that meditation has helped you a lot to become a better person, to become a more
Yeah.
mature responsible person, what are
Hmm.
other ways, or is there any kind of method or technique anybody can follow to become more serious, and also taking more pressure? Because I see people, they break in pressure, they have health issues because they can't manage things, they can't manage their eating habits, and they're going haywire with their health, which is very sad. And people are passing away. I've seen people, young people, they're passing away because of COVID, my age
Hmm.
or younger than me. And all, not only that, stress levels are very high. They're suffering from diabetes, they're suffering from what to call it, pressure, high pressure, things like that. So it's sad to see that. So apart from meditation, what are other advice you'd like to give to the audience, or maybe whoever watching us, to keep themselves fit and fine? Because if we are not fit mentally and physically, then it's still going to be tough for whatever we do in our life.
Yeah. So, Sandeep, you are asking this question to someone who had uncontrolled diabetes. I'm
Right.
diabetic and I had uncontrolled diabetes. So, you are asking me about health related tips.
Mhm.
So, still, I would like to attempt this question by saying that when we are physically weak, people tell us
Mhm.
to exercise to keep our body healthy. Now, when we
Yes.
are mentally weak, we need to meditate because it's an exercise for the mind. Now, there's no better meditation one could do other than Vipassana. It's absolutely free of cost, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the technique that has got no guruism in it. You are not under any dogmas or principles, or you are not asked to follow any religion. Although it's
Mm-hmm.
been invented or discovered by the Gautam Buddha 2,500 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but he never said that it's only meant for the Buddhists, because it's very scientific. You are
Mm-hmm.
meant to observe your breath. So a
Mm-hmm.
Hindu, a Muslim, or a Sikh, or a Christian, we all
Right.
breathe. It's very natural. So there's no Hinduism, or there's no nothing about religion, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very secular and scientific. And
Right.
it's just 10 days that you have to go there and learn it, and you would reap the benefits throughout your life. So just 10 days
Mm-hmm.
compared to the as long as you live now. Yeah, yeah, people are youngsters I've seen nowadays are really, they feel sometimes, maybe because they feel helpless, they are more into drugs. But
Mm.
then I'm no one to teach them. They have to find it themselves. If they find it relaxing taking drugs, then it's better for them. But if I have to tell them what to do, so I would
Mm-hmm.
advise them to just keep away from drugs and start meditating. Maybe they can join a Vipassana course for 10 days. If they like it, they are most welcome to do it throughout their lives. But then if they don't like it, then they don't need to do. No one is forcing them. But then if you want to keep your mind and body healthy, you need to practice meditation. Now, even if you care about your body, you look after your body really really well. You go to spas, you soap yourself every time you bath, and then that also with imported soaps. There will be a
Mm-hmm.
time when your body will break down. You will get some disease or the other, and that will break down your body. So there will
Right.
be a time when you have to leave your body, but the only thing that you will take with you is your mind. So you really need to keep your mind in good shape, and you need to keep it healthy. You cannot defile it with all the negative qualities. So that's what Vipassana teaches. And I think it's the best investment one could do. Rather than putting money into the banks, the best
Mm-hmm.
investment is investing in your mind, to
Right.
reform it, to become a better person.
Right, right. True, true. And we are going through some difficult times where mental health is, something which people should talk about, because this is the most neglected part of our life. People,
Yes,
they don't talk
absolutely.
about it.
Absolutely.
Yes. And this is very, very important for our survival and our
A lot
living.
of people, youngsters, also go through depression, and
Yes.
this is one of the most chronic diseases. People don't say
Yes.
it outwardly, but they themselves suffer from depression inwardly,
Yes.
and then they come to a breaking point where they could take it no longer, and then they commit suicide. So I
Yes.
would advise to all my listeners, to all my trainees, students, whoever it is who's listening to us, to at least go and sit for a 10 days meditation course, and then you judge by yourself. You don't have to listen to me. Just go and see it yourself. Try it. If you think that it's working for you, then do it. If you think that it's bullshit, you don't do it. That's as simple as that.
Right. Right. Uh, so we are almost at the end of the show, but
Yes.
one
Yeah.
more question I have for you is, this
Okay.
show, as you know, this show is all about passion. Passion. The name of the show is Passion Podcast, right? So,
Yes.
how important it's to follow passion in life? What do you think about it? What do you want to say about it?
I would tell you that I found my passion at the right age, when I just started my in the middle of my career, when initially I was into finance, but
Mm-hmm.
then I really it that bored me a lot, that profession or the work. I wanted to change it. Now when I switched into teaching and training, I found my real passion in life. So I would advise all my students and all my listeners that it's better to follow your passion. Sometimes your passion could lead you to not so well known paths. So you could find yourself alone walking on a lonely path
Hmm.
without anyone helping you. But if that's your passion, so stick to it, because ultimately you would get more satisfaction out of it if you stick to a passion. But a lot of people try to think about money. They do
Yes.
engineering, they study mbbs, even though they don't have the aptitude for that. I know
Hmm.
one of my friends, she's a ca, chartered accountant, and
Hmm.
she's really bored. She sits at her office, and she once told me that I spend whenever there is a problem, I spend at least 5 to 6 hours with the problem. I know I can solve it within half an hour, but I don't feel like doing it. So she's just bored, and she doesn't like what she's doing. So even
Okay.
Steve Jobs told us that imagine it's the last day of your life. So stand
Yes.
in front of the mirror and ask yourself that if this is the last day of my life, do I like what I am doing now? So if continuously 3 to 4 days, you get the answer no. That means you need to change your profession or whatever you are doing. And I completely believe in it. Our life is really short. We cannot waste our life doing something to make someone else happy, or
Right.
something which makes us sad from inside. No, we should do whatever is our passion, whatever makes us happy. It could be anything. So I would just
Right.
tell everyone to follow your passion.
True. True. As you are said this, I also totally agree. I see people, they are working in
Yeah.
jobs which they are not happy with. Maybe they are earning a lot of salary, but from inside they are dead. They are not alive.
Yes, yes,
So yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
They are
So
dead. They feel good that to tell everyone that I'm an engineer, but then
exactly.
they don't have any passion for it, and they just do it just to survive. So
Right.
that's how
Paying
a
bills.
lot of people work. But then I'm completely against it, because with if you, even if you earn a lot less, but if you are following your passion, you are dedicated. You don't feel tired even after working 10 hours a day, and that's what is happening to me. I don't feel that tired working even 10 to 12 hours a day, because this is what I love doing.
Exactly. Yeah, Utsav, we are at the end, so we can you can turn on your camera. So last few things. Yeah. So it was again a nice discussion with you. About this, and you
Thank you so
yourself
much.
have been to different organizations. So last question for you is how important discipline in life for you and for all of us, because without discipline
Discipline, right?
we cannot achieve anything in our life, do we?
See, discipline, as Eliot Kipchoge had said, discipline, without discipline, we are slaves to our emotions. So it's really the discipline that will get you to your goals. So you might feel when I woke up at 4:30 to meditate, I would really feel sleepy. My mind would continuously tell me that this is not the right time to wake up. Go to bed. See, I can still wake up at 7 or 6, but then I would drag myself out of bed and put some water on my face, and then I would sit. And throughout the day, I would find that the day would go on very smoothly, and I would get a lot to achieve on those days when I would wake up at 4:30, because the day would seem to be very long and you get time to do a lot of things. So it's same with all of us. We might have certain objectives and goals in our lives, but if we are lazy, if we don't put that extra effort, if we don't work hard, then all that will be left is a dream. That's it. So to make a dream into reality, you need to be disciplined. You need to have a fixed timetable that this is when I would get up. If it's early, then you need to really go to bed early and then wake up early. You need to change your timetable and then work towards it. But the mantra is to be disciplined and to meditate twice a day. So go and do Vipassana.
Right, right. So great, great advice that you have given to all the audience. Even I was thinking of starting this meditation that you are talking about.
Sure,
So
sure,
right
Sandeep.
after this,
It's never too late. This is something which is a medicine. Now, what is happening is that people are suffering, and they are committing suicide. They are taking pills, and they are visiting the doctors. The doctors prescribe so many medicines. It's just the pharmaceutical companies who are making a lot of money. But then, actually, we are health deprived. We are even physical and mental both. So this one technique. It's free of cost, and it teaches you to get out of your suffering. You don't have to visit a doctor because the doctor was already there. Gautam Buddha, he gave you the medicine. So it's up to us whether we want to take the medicine or we want to go to the doctor, and we want to go into the operation theater.
true, true, true. So once again, thank you, Rufus, for coming and giving us your
Thank you,
valuable time.
Sandeep, for having me on this show. It was really an honor for me. I would really like to thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Uh, if you you are thanking me, but I'd like to thank you because you have become like you have taken some time out from your schedule. I know you have a packed up schedule. Then also you said yes when I said to you about this proposal of this event. So thank you once again. And before you go, you are from Kolkata, right? So many people think that Utsav Rufus. What is this? Never heard of this name. Like never heard of this subtitle. Even I never heard of it. So, would you like to say anything in Bengali to your friends, family members who are watching from Kolkata?
I'm the only one with this name on Facebook. Utsav Rufus. I'm the only one. Yeah. Utsav Rufus, why Rufus? আমার বাবা Christian ছিলেন. So he had the surname. I got the surname from him. And তো মা হিন্দু ছিল আর মা হিন্দু আছেন আর বাবা বাঙালি ছিল। সরি কি বলছি, বাবা ইউপি থেকে ছিলেন, ইউপি নন বেঙ্গলি। তো ওইভাবে সারনেমটা পেয়েছি। অ্যান্ড ইয়েস, ইটস আ ভেরি ইউনিক সারনেম। বেশি লোকেরা শোনেনি। ইটস আ ক্রিশ্চিয়ান সারনেম, তো ওই জন্য, অলদো আই এম নট রিলিজিয়াস এট অল, ব্যাপটিজম এইসব কিছু হয়নি। ইভেন আই গট ম্যারিড ফলোইং হিন্দু ceremonies. ठीक है, so my wife is Christian, but then we got married according to Hindu rituals. Even আমার বাবা ওইভাবেই বিয়ে করেছিল, হিন্দু রিচুয়ালস ফলো করে। So even when he died, আমার বাবা যখন মারা গেলেন, so we all the last rites were done according to the Hindu rituals.
Okay,
Because he really liked it. Yes. তো আমার বাবা, although he was Christian, কিন্তু বাবার বেশি হিন্দু রিলিজনটা, and I grew up in an environment যে হিন্দু ক্রিশ্চিয়ান এই দুটো রিলিজনে আমি দেখে বড় হয়েছি। তো আমার সামনে যখন কেউ ঝগড়া করে এই মুসলিম হিন্দু এই সব নিয়ে, আমার তো হাসতে ইচ্ছা করে যে মানে এগুলোর কোনো ভ্যালিউ নেই। why do people cut each other's throat in the name of religion? কতটা ওরা মানে বোকামি করছে, আমি এটা ভেবেই হাসি। Because to survive, to love someone, you don't need religion. কুকুর বেড়ালের কি কোনোদিন রিলিজন ছিল না, কিন্তু কুকুর দেখো মানুষকে কত বেশি ভালোবাসে। মোস্ট লয়াল বলে, ম্যানস বেস্ট ফ্রেন্ড। তো তাহলে ওর রিলিজন কোথায়? ওর তো রিলিজন নেই, তো ও শিখলো কোত্থেকে? তার মানে রিলিজন দরকারই নেই আমাদের। কিন্তু রিলিজন ইজ an addiction হয়ে যায়। Anyway, we are deviating from the topic.
Absolutely, because I also believe that religion is something which is man-made, right? So when there is something man-made, it's not going to help us. Whatever is nature
You don't
made,
need
whatever.
religion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Rupal. Rupal, the discussion was so intriguing. I don't want to let you go, but you are busy. I have to go. I have to go as well. So maybe we can meet in some other time, maybe this year or maybe next year once again to discuss more about communication and English as a language and more out from your end, because you are adding so much value to this podcast. Okay, till the time, stay safe, stay happy, and take good care of yourself, since you are said you are suffering from diabetes. Please take care of yourself. Have some control on your diet, right? And wish you all the best.
Yes, I am. My wife is my controller. She sits with a hunter.
Wives are always controllers.
Thank you
right?
so much.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. So take good care of yourself, and wish you all the best for your future
Thank you. You
endeavors.
too.
And hope to
All
meet
the
you
best
soon.
to you.
Whenever you, yeah, whenever you
Sure.
come to Kolkata, give me a call. Let's meet and
Sure, I
discuss
will.
more about life and
Sure,
more about
I will.
English. Right.
I
Okay. All
will.
right. So goodbye. Take care.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
thank you
Take
everyone
care.
for watching. So many people who have watched us. So Utsav, before you go, we are going live on Facebook, and after the event ends, I will upload this video on YouTube as well. So
Thank you
those
so
who are not
much.
able to join this podcast, they're not able to hear our
They can watch it
conversation.
later. Yeah.
They can hear us on YouTube, right?
Right.
So anything you'd like to you say to the audience, those who are watching, maybe your students, or any advice you want to give to maybe some learners who want to come into this coaching? I mean, they want to enroll for coaching or something. You want to tell and them anything? Like people are thinking, whether should I spend money for the coaching or should I watch YouTube videos to learn English? What message you
No,
want
no,
to tell them?
it always helps when you have a teacher in front of you. YouTube, you cannot learn everything from YouTube. Although you can learn a bit of everything from YouTube, but not everything. So you need to join a reputed coaching center. You can join Sandeep Bose's academy, and then he is a wonderful teacher. So all the best to my listeners, all the best to all the audiences. Thank you, Sandeep, for having me on your show. It has
Pleasure
been
is
a
all
great.
mine.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Sandeep.
Rufus. So see you soon and
Yeah,
stay safe. That's what we
you
can say in
too.
this situation.
Yeah, that's
Bye.
right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, everyone.